Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you guys sitting with us this evening. Anthony, my trainee here, feel free to ask any questions you might have. He's in training, so that's going to really help him with the process. He's going to be taking notes during this whole process. So the more questions you have, the better it is for him for training purposes. I appreciate you guys again sitting down with us this evening. Have you heard of Primerica before?
No.
No? Okay, great. Most people haven't, so you're not alone. Primerica is the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. We're a publicly traded company listed on the New York Stock Exchange as ticker number PRI. We have more than 2 million client investment accounts and more than 4 million lives insured through our life companies. And what we do is we help families earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. And the way we do that is do our financial needs analysis for our clients, kind of take a quick snapshot of where they are, put together a blueprint to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. Does that make a lot of sense?
About time.
Exactly. And a lot of people find our services very beneficial, especially in these times. What was pretty alarming to me, I want to share with you guys a couple of statistics. More than most Americans with at least one credit card is at least $16,000 in credit card debt. Does that surprise you guys at all?
Your cousin.
And my cousin, yes.
Your cousin? Oh, she must be loves to shop, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, believe me, she's not alone. Most Americans in that situation. Another statistic that really was alarming to me is more than 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Does that surprise you guys at all?
Uncle Billy.
Uncle Billy.
Yes, and Uncle Sammy.
Right.
Forgot about him. His significant other.
Okay. Well, why do you think that is?
Lazy.
Lazy?
Well, we don't make enough money to even save.
Well, yeah, exactly. A lot of people in that situation. And some people just don't understand how money works. You know, let me ask you guys a serious question. Do you have a written program in place to kind of get out of debt and retire financially secure?
Yeah, we were just talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're the 2/3 of the family.
You're the
We're
2/3.
the paycheck.
Oh, okay, well, I'm glad we guys are meeting this
I
evening.
make more though.
Oh, you make more?
I stay home.
You stay home? Okay, great. Hey, staying home is a very important job as well.
Absolutely.
So I commend you on what you're doing. Well, here is one scenario a lot of people aren't familiar with. Let's say, for example, you guys have a bank account, correct?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Okay, great.
We have two. We have together, joint, and then separate.
Okay. Typically, when you take your money and invest it in a bank, what do you think the bank does with that money?
Keep it.
Exactly. They don't put that money aside and say, hey, this is you guys' money. Nobody touch it. We keep it safe for you. No, they invest in the global economy. And what they do is they get a much higher return on that than what the average American. Do you know what you guys are getting right now for interest rate?
I never look at the statement.
Like 0.0%.
Right, exactly. That's what most bank accounts are paying right now. Well, what we show you how to do is eliminate the middleman. So you can actually take your money and invest in the global economy directly without utilizing the bank. So you can get that higher return, that 9 to 12% that the bank is getting, and be in a better situation than getting that 0.5% or 1/4% that they're typically giving you. And the way you want to utilize that, why it's so important, is because of inflation. Right now, inflation on average is about 4%. So if you're getting a 0.5% or a 1/4%, do you think you're going to keep up with inflation? No, and that's why most people are living paycheck to paycheck, because you're never in a position to catch up and get ahead. But I'm going to share with you guys a concept that was shared to me many years ago, and a lot of people just aren't familiar with it. Are you familiar with the rule of 72?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, basically the rule of 72 talks about how many doubling periods it takes for your money to double. Now, let's just say, for example, when's your guys' birthday? When's your birthday, Myra?
January 11th.
January 11th. Okay, let's just say, for example, today is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You had a great party. We're all out celebrating, and Val surprised you with a check for $10,000. Is that awesome or what?
That is
Told you it's gonna be the best birthday ever.
Exactly. But here's the question. Here's the catch, Myra. You can't invest it. You can't spend that money. You have to invest it.
Okay.
But when you invest it, you got 3 options. You can get a 3% return, a 6% return, or a 12% return. Now, all things being equal, which would you take?
12%.
That's why I married her.
Exactly. Very smart cookie. That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what will happen. Let's say we take that $10,000, you're invested and you're getting a 3%. In 24 years, that would double to $20,000. So that's how long it took for your money to double.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a 6% return, that same 24 years, you guys will have $40,000. Not bad.
Okay.
Now, if you're getting that 12%, which the S&P on average is about 11.5%, you guys will have $160,000. Is that pretty substantial?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, just imagine Val gave you $100,000 instead of $10,000. You add a zero to the end of that number, you got to add a zero to the end of that number. Do you think you guys can retire pretty comfortably with about $1.6 million?
Do you need to have $10,000 in order to do this? Or
No,
it's just an example.
Just an example. No matter what the amount is that you put in, it just shows you the power of compounded interest, which a lot of people just aren't familiar with.
Now, where do you get the 12%?
You can get the 12% in annuities, mutual funds, different investment avenues out there that we can teach and show you how you can get that same return that the bank is getting.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's nice.
Are you guys familiar with that process?
No.
No?
But
Okay.
we would like to learn more about that.
Absolutely. So that's why we're here this evening. Now, here's what happens. Most Americans right now are in this situation. They have young children, they have high debt, and they have a high mortgage. And what they typically don't have is any type of substantial investments or any type of savings that, God forbid, something were to happen, they would be not in a financial catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why one of the processes we like to talk about is utilizing insurance. That's the quickest way to have to create an estate. So we talk about the process of investing in getting term insurance because it's very cost effective, and investing the difference. Here's how it would work. Let's say, for example, typical American in this situation, they don't have $400,000 or $500,000 set aside, so if something were to happen, it will be covered. So that's why we would recommend insurance, and later on in years, we would show them how to put together that game plan so they can invest and get that higher rate of return. So in 15, 20, 30 years, when the kids are all grown up, they have less debt, the houses are paid for, so they don't need that much insurance, they're looking to retire. We can show them how, by putting that nest egg aside, they'll have that investment in place, so now they got their retirement, and because they don't have that much debt, they don't need that much insurance, if any at all.
So you're saying that if we go with insurance just to cover, Aiden going through college and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and later we don't need that much insurance. We need more money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And that's where you want to kind of put together that game plan, that blueprint. And what we're going to do this evening, Anthony's going to sit down and kind of go over what our financial needs analysis for you guys and show you some methods and tools to kind of get you out of that situation you're in, so you can guys have that blueprint in place for later on in the future.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Can we finally take that trip?
Where are we going?
Hawaii.
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great place.
We just discussed that last night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was drunk.
Oh, you guys had a great night last night then, it sounds like. Wow, that's great, that's great. So when Anthony goes through the financial needs analysis, another thing he's going to kind of look at, he's going to talk about some of the things we can definitely help you with. A lot of families find themselves in a lot of debt.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a program called Debt Watchers, where we can show you how you can pay off debt a lot sooner and to kind of get out of debt a lot quicker. And it's not investing more money, it's utilizing the same money that you're currently spending.
What's considered debt?
Debt is any type of credit cards, outstanding auto loans, student loans, any type of medical bills that's sitting out there that you're paying on. A lot of people pay for many, many years and find they can never get from under because of high interest rates.
Your cousin, Penn.
Really? Now,
Yes, my cousin Payne, yes.
Okay.
Tons of
And
money.
Mulan.
Oh, wow. And Mulan as well. Okay, great. Well, do me a favor. While you just mentioned a couple of people that are in that situation. If we provide some value for you guys this evening and put together a game plan, Would you think that some of those other family members might find value in what we're doing right now?
Chris, I love all the things you're talking about, but what's this going to cost us?
Well, that's what makes us very unique. Typically, for an investment advisor to kind of sit down with you guys and put together a game plan, you charge about $700. But we're different. Here at Primerica, there's no cost to our clients for doing this. What we would recommend, instead of paying us, you give us referrals, because if we can provide value for you, someone else might find value in what we're doing as well. That would be the payment for us. Does that make sense?
But can we let these people know first?
Absolutely, absolutely. If we provide value for you guys, we would say, if you can give us a few referrals, maybe 8 to 10, and then let them know in advance that, hey, you guys sat down with us, we put together a game plan for you, and think that they might find value in what we're doing as well.
Do you charge extra for colored ink?
Oh, and no extra cost at all.
I like my chairs colored.
Great. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to turn it over to Anthony. He's going to do financial needs analysis. He's going to ask you guys a couple of questions, and then we're going to kind of wrap up and put together a game plan for you guys. Make sense? Okay, Anthony?
You did a great job.